any motions to grant leave of absence? No? Okay. We have, do I need to mention the leave of absence still? We still have Aislinn on leave of absence until the 30th of June. They're in attendance? We'd like to now go to the public open forum for anyone? No? Confirming the minutes. We're going to do that last thing, right? Can I please have a mover? Abby, thank you. Can I also please have a seconder? Lily, thank you. Thank you. All those in favour, raise your hand. That's not working.
No, we can't see, but just ask
Jade, are you agreeing?
Yes, I agree. I'm just trying to find the hands up button, sorry.
That's okay, I can't see you currently anyway. Okay. Carry unanimously. Is any business arising from the minutes? Does anyone have any business? No? We can move on then. This is the 6.1, the youth sponsorship program. If everyone can please turn to page 4 to look at the sponsorships. I'm going to go there to see if everyone would like to.
Page 6. Page 4. Yeah, just turn it.
Does everyone want to work together or separately? We have 10-pin bowling, another 10-pin bowling, and a swimming. Does everyone want to work together? Yeah, okay. So, hopefully everyone's read over this. So does everyone have anything to discuss about? No? Yes, Chair?
Through the chair, I'll just confirm that they meet all the terms and conditions for the sponsorship. So we're happy to recommend that they are approved.
Does everyone approve with giving out in total $600 to all three applicants, or 200 each? Can I move it a second? No mover? No mover? All those in favour?
Sorry, we'll just get you, if you could just read out the motion and then ask for a mover and a seconder. Sorry.
What? The Gawler Youth Advisory Committee recommends to the Council that the applications for the Youth Sponsorship Program receives the following young people, total of 600 with food. Do I read the names?
Just first name and then next.
Kaylin for 10-pin bowling. Kobe for 10-pin bowling. Max for swimming. All those in favour?
Mover?
Now we need a mover? Can I please have a mover, please? Molly, thank you. Could I also have a seconder, please? Bernie, sorry, I'm blind. Thank you, Bernie. Sarah and Jay, all those in favour? All those in favour? Carried unanimously, Jay. Sorry, I'll ask Jay first.
Would you like me to unmute every time I agree, or can someone
Yes,
please?
please. Yes,
whether I
please.
agree?
I can't
Yeah.
see you.
That's all good, can do.
Do you carry? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Carried unanimously. now I'd like to move on to the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee. The youth update from Debbie, speak please. No? That is 6.2. Oh, the schedule, sorry. Can everyone please look at it, page 12, I'm being told it is on, to look at the new meeting schedule for this year, because I think we have a couple meetings in a row. And then also, this is also up to discussion here, if there's any questions about it. Might be on page 11.
It's on page 12.
I have page 10 already.
Oh,
Yes.
page 10 to 12.
Is there any questions about the graph here? No? Okay. This one? The office recommends that Gawler Youth Advisory Committee adopts the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee meeting schedule for 2026 to 2027 as presented in the attachment to on page 12. Can I have a mover, please? Lily, thank you. Can I have a seconder? Molly, thank you. Is all those in favour?
In favour.
Carried unanimously. Thank you, guys. Six point three, the appointment of members. We have, is that person come today? Yeah, the new person. Okay, Lily, could you please leave the room?
Do you need it to talk first?
Oh, would you like to tell us about anything about yourself?
Is my mic cut?
No,
Okay, they're different to how last time they were. Okay. Do I just say like why I want to join?
Or why you'd like to rejoin.
Yeah. So I'd like to rejoin because so far on the committee I feel like I have developed a lot of skills with talking publicly and explaining ideas and just sort of feeling involved in the Gawler community was really nice. And I would like to continue to do that moving forward. The community has been a really great experience for me so far, and I would like to continue to be involved and have a say in my community and in what the youth wants.
Thank you. Now, could you please leave the room?
You just have to say why.
Oh,
Register here.
that the Gawler notes to express of interest for Lily Van der Kloek, a member of Gawler Youth Advisory Committee. More? The next one? Appoints Lily Van der Kloek to the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee for period 2. Did you vote?
No. So Lily's just going to leave the room, so she's not voting for herself. She's just declared conflict of interest. So Lily's going to leave the room now. Thank you, Lily. And then once Lily's left the room, then you can ask for a mover and a second.
Yes, please. Is there any questions or queries or reasons why people would not like
question, sorry.
That's okay, go ahead.
How many positions do we currently have available, and do we have anyone else there tonight? So I can't see the audience, sorry, who is hoping to receive a position tonight.
Through the chair, Jane, we still have, including if Lily comes back, we still have 2 vacant members, 2 vacant positions, and there's no one else this evening who'd like to join.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Cody?
I'm happy to support the motion, and she's been doing a good job, and happy to let her back on for another 2 years.
To answer your question further, Jay, there is no one else here. There was a typo, so I apologise. Yes, I also agree. I think Lily is doing a great job, and I would love to see how they go as deputy as well. So, Kai, move it.
I think, Cody, were you happy to move the motion?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Cody. Could I also have a seconder? Happy, thank you so much. Is it all those in favour?
In favour.
Carried unanimously.
I'll just let Lily back in.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're fine, Lily.
Oh, yes, Lily, you are appointed back for 2 years. Congratulations. I believe you're moving on to 7. And 7.1, the Youth Development Program update. Debbie, would you like to speak on it?
Yes, thank you, through the chair. We've had a busy few months, it seems like a long time from the last meeting to this meeting. April school holidays was just gone and it was a very busy time for us. We met lots of new young people into the youth space for the first time, and a lot of those have now started to come into our term programs this term. We had our first term program back tonight. I was very busy, lots of new young people we haven't met before, but also a great opportunity for them to now experience what you guys have been experiencing. We've had lots of positive feedback from the community with the programs being run and the variety of programs, with lots of different programs being run this school holidays for the first time as well. The skate park was one of those during Youth Week, which was hugely successful. We had 570 people turn up. Over 50 odd people competed on the day as well. We had lots of free stuff for the community, so it made a great family fun day. We also, big thanks to Ferris Care and Headspace for attending the event and making their presence in our community. But that was very well received, and we do hope to have them back again for the next skate park event as well, because it was something that was definitely well received by the community. The other things that we saw, and I'll ask Lily if Lily wants to speak later, but we saw a lot of young people doing their very first workshops for us, which was great. So a lot of young people have grown up in youth space and are now at that stage where their creative arts are coming through, and we can now get them in as contractors to help run programs and do different things, which is absolutely great. And Lily's program in particular sold out probably within about 4 minutes of being opened. So that was a really good thing. We will do that again in the future. Term 2 obviously started tonight. We're underway planning for the July school holidays and term 3. Fringe was also loads of fun. It seems like Fringe has been and gone, but it definitely, since last meeting, it's definitely there, and I'll ask Abby to talk a bit more on some Fringe stuff and talk about the drama show and a few things later. Reminder that our volunteers have been asked to attend an afternoon tea coming up. So if you can, I do know it's during school hours, so if you are at school it might not work work out for you. It will be over at the Greyhounds Nixon Centre, so it would be great if you can get there. It's on a Tuesday in a couple of weeks' time.
The 19th.
The 19th, yeah, the 19th of May. So I believe Emerson will attend on behalf of the YAP committee, but if there's any other YAP committee members as well as being volunteer that can attend, that would be great. I think it's at 2 o'clock. Yeah, so it still gives you time if you are part of the afternoon programs, volunteering or something, that you can get back to those. We have planned the child safe training for July for the YAP committee and other young people, so please, I will give you that date very, very soon, so I'll send you a text out this week. That way you can lock that in, so a lot of you have requested this training, so if you are going to take us up on that, we'll cover the cost for you to come in and do that. That's probably all I'm going to say for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Does not say here where to the young people, would you like to Is there any questions about what Debbie just mentioned? Yes, Cody?
So just in terms of the Skill Up program, I'm just wondering how many of these participants would have been part of a specific day event as opposed to just doing an online course in their own time?
Through the chair, all these in the report are people that undertake the training actually online, and we've just been given access to a new system which now records how many of these people actually do that and get their certificates as well. So we should be able to start adding that in soon to see how many people are. There was 6 in the school holidays that have successfully completed the barista course online and then did hands-on training in our cafe down here. That's something that we've been doing over the last 3 lots of school holidays with the cafe, and we're now going to be looking at moving into other areas with them as well with training. So these are people that just need like their RSA or their cafe things, because one, they're either working and at risk of losing their job if they don't have that certificate, or they get their RSA and walk down to the pub and get a job straight away. So it is a benefit for them, and we do hear those success stories, but the statistics will soon show that as well, which will be reflected soon in the next reports coming up.
Any more questions for Debbie about any use-based programs? No? Could I please have Julie? Practice out of English, please. Lily, thank you. Could I also have a seconder? Molly, thank you. All those in favour?
In favour.
Carried unanimously. Officers recommend that the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee notes that the Youth Development Program update. I'd now like to move on to items listed for discussions. First, we have the presiding members' voter update. We can skip that because I haven't had any meetings or anything. 8.2, the accessibility to transport. We can skip that too. No one has any questions about that one? Cody?
So just in regards to a previous motion about the chair and the mayor meeting the transport minister, I'm just wondering if anything's happened with that.
In short, pretty much no. Going through the caretaker mode, etc., and then the new ministers being sworn in. We've literally just sent our last letters congratulating the new ministers and some of the carryover, and our local MP as well. But it's probably something to elevate again now that is all bedded in. I think it is probably worth following through and trying to get that meeting established.
Yeah, and who is the transport minister?
Transport Minister, is it Joe's? I think. Is it Joe?
I think so.
Yeah, I think yes. The local government minister changed over to Rhiannon Pearce.
Yep.
And Emily Burke, infrastructure minister, dropped off her portfolio, but she ended up in environment, water, and the like. And you're nodding as if I'm right.
About the MP.
Oh, about just on. So yes, and that's a new portfolio for him. So
Yep.
Thank you. Are we good to move on? The 8.3, the youth program update. Term 2 is back this week with drama, band, cooking. Is that it?
We just move on to a new dance if you want. Unless it's
Does anyone want to speak on behalf of at least drama, because it's happened recently, like today? Lily?
So in the drama program, we have had a lot of new people coming in, like youth from the public, which is pretty good, and some younger people too. So just like expanding the reach of the drama program to the younger people in Gawler is good. And yeah, we mainly just play drama games today, but it's nice to have new people.
Thank you. We will be moving on to 8.4, the youth event update. We have Abbeydale talking about Fringe hats.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a lot happen during Fringe. Hey, the drama performance we had went really well. Everyone got really involved, which was really lovely to see, and I believe all the feedback we got was really brilliant as well. I know we had lots of new people, I think, in the audience as well, which was really exciting to see. And obviously everything going on downstairs in the cafe sort of area during Fringe, I know there was lots of people and members of the community around, especially with Daniel's little Humans of Gawler photography thing, which was really sweet. And we also had the skate park event not super long ago, which was really cool. The company that I was working for was contracted for it, and I know a lot of the people who were attending the skate park are actually from down south. So there were some people from Noarlunga who go to all of the skate parks, so it was really cool to see. I think there was about 15 people who do all of the skate park events, so it was really cool to see them making the trek up north to come to ours.
Thank you so much. I would also like to add that the band also played on Metal Omari as well, and that went very amazing. They also had a great time for the few that didn't have to leave straight away. They also played Fringe in the Park and the library family fun day. I believe were all Tuesday. I unfortunately could not attend those ones. I'm assuming they went well. Now I'd like to move on to Lily to talk about the Equals for Holiday, especially your sewing program, please.
Yeah, so in the holidays I ran a sewing program in the space downstairs. So it was young people came along and sort of teaching how to sew. Another local person, Mark, also helped run it, but he mainly did machine sewing. So I ran some embroidery and hand sewing of things, and it went really well. A lot of people came and like went away with pretty cool products at the end of it. And there were some other school holiday programs I also went to, like D&D. It was pretty fun. I know I did other ones. Film. Oh yeah, we did see the showing of the youth film. That was really great. We also watched it downstairs before. Yeah, it was pretty good. A lot of stuff got cut, but it was pretty good. And I'm proud of everyone who worked on it. It was all the actors and the action hammer on the cameras and mics, and it was all really good. I think that's it.
Yes, I've also just been informed we have
and just to be so has it had a public showing? Not yet.
No, July.
July. Yeah. But no, I'm looking forward to. I think it's the best film that the youth have made so far, and also the most ambitious. I think considerably longer than any of their previous films. So it is, which also does mean that things get shuffled and cast and all sorts of things. Because the more complex the project, the more complex the editing. But no, I think it's. I think every year it's clear that people are getting a better understanding of the whole process. And yeah, I look forward to inviting people to the public showing.
Thank you so much. Yes, of course. Anything else anyone has attended from our last meeting, or was it the 2nd of February, anyone want to speak about? Anything cool you guys have done? Jay, do you want to update us on your day you're part of?
The only thing I have to update is, I was just looking at earlier, the Mother's Day Classic is this weekend, this Sunday. So if anyone's looking for a fun event to go to this weekend and also wants to support local musicians in Gawler and all of the other stalls and events that will be happening that weekend, check out either our Facebook or just search up the Mother's Day Classic Gawler. I'm sure you'll find some more info.
Thank you. No one else has anything you want to bring up? No? Abby?
Thanks for dubbing me in, Deb. Really appreciate it. I'm not actually sure what I'm getting dubbed in for.
And other events in Gawler. Since February.
Ooh. There's always a lot going on, actually. There's always little sneaky things going on, which is really exciting. There's been a lot of things happening. I know the arts scene in Adelaide at the moment is kind of branching out because everyone's sick of normal venues. So everyone's getting funding to make DIY venues at the moment, which is really exciting. I'm starting a new performance series at the moment, which is starting in Stirling, of all places, partnering with local cafes. So I'm hoping to bring it to Gawler if I can get funding.
Thank you so much. We get to move on. 8.5, the youth sponsorship review. New posters is being developed, and the social media campaign will go out in the new financial year. Do we want to remove this topic or leave it until the new financial year? Any votes? Any thoughts?
We'll just leave it.
It's really up to committee, Adam.
How many meetings do we have before the new financial year?
We have one more in June, and then new financial year will be July. So
Should we just leave it until the new financial year then, since we won't have anything to talk about? Can we slightly postpone it from our agenda potentially until the new financial year?
yeah.
Does everyone agree on that? Jay?
I'm sorry, yeah, we'll have to leave it till either the meeting after the financial year or even the meeting after that once we've reconvened.
Well, I think we need to vote. Okay, we have now 8.6, the 1 year generation new alcohol.
Yes, sorry. Sorry to jump in. That's just still on hiatus. I just wanted to check, is anyone ready to write some articles or just leave it on hiatus for a little? Lily?
I have a question. Sorry, I keep turning my mic off because I don't like these mics. But is there any specific requirements for the articles? How relevant to Gawler do they have to be?
It's basically just, oh, sorry, Emerson.
I think I've got this correct, but the answer to that is that they could be anything, correct? Anything to do that you're interested in. Like, the example could be something that's happening even in Adelaide, just your new hobby. It's just, I believe they just want a column for the youth to speak at whatever they like. Is happy?
Do we potentially, sorry through the chair, do we potentially, once again, keep it on hiatus until the new financial year, and because we've got our new schedule now, at our team building, everyone can be forced to sit and write. Otherwise you're not allowed in.
To add on to that, again, you guys are allowed to team up and write something. You do not need to write it solo. So that idea is interesting. I don't know, maybe like 15 minutes for that one.
You need to tell me if you're coming, otherwise so it doesn't get cancelled.
Yes, please tell Debbie that you are coming. Because
Team building.
team building, because the last time it did get cancelled.
Well, only one person was coming.
Alright, cool. So we will temporarily pull items 8.5 and 8.6 from items listed for discussion for the next agenda, and we'll revisit them in the next financial year.
Yep. We're going to now move on to item 9. Items listed for discussion at future meetings. From the last minutes, had the topic communication methods for the YAC and other youth-based groups and activities, the social media ban for under 16s, and the lack of youth using Facebook means alternative means for communication method. Do we want to bring that back up for
Yeah, so
discussion now?
I think I'm the one that brought it up at the last meeting, basically just that we have a Facebook group for youth, but none of the youth check it. So it's just Debbie saying happy birthday and then no one responding, which is a little sad. So I just suggested, maybe whatever the kids these days are doing now, WhatsApp or something, where people will actually see it and respond to it, might be a good thing to have for the committee.
Yes, Lily?
Considering the social media ban and a lot of youth not attending here, I'm pretty sure everyone here is 16 at least, but I think I'm the youngest. Ren? It's me or Ren who's the youngest, and we're 16, I think, so
No,
it's fine. But stuff like drama, there are 12-year-olds in drama, and I think alternative methods like email and having like text messages. I know Debbie does text us, but just texting is way more accessible than social media for the younger people, I feel, just because like they're banned off of stuff.
Yes, happy.
I think potentially to continue the messages, but maybe just possibly to send one at a time. Because I think the thing is, because everyone's involved in so many things, poor Deb is like having sleepless nights trying to send everyone messages, and we get like 8 messages at once. We're like, we're not opening these messages. So maybe if we can like organise, maybe in your like, I know you have your like Excel spreadsheet of everyone who's in each program, if we can articulate it and be like, these are the people, this is what you need to know. I think messages would be useful, and obviously if anyone's, like we've got some younger 12-year-olds in the programs now, obviously the messages are going to go to their parents, but the violence of articulation, so Deb doesn't have to send 75 messages every 5 minutes.
So through the chair on that, when the messages go out, I just click the bulk group for whatever program it is and send them one message. So that does save me time. And you are right, I do send one for drama, one for band, and one because obviously time. So I sit down and go, okay, I'm going to text everyone now, so I'll just get all the texts out of the way. But I have recently, you probably noticed, started to do them on different days. So you are getting them different days because someone did bring that up before. So that if you're involved in 4 different things, you might get them over the period of 4 days instead of all in one day. For parents, they love them. So if you're under 18, your parents still get your text message until you're 18 as well as you. You can opt to have that message, but it still goes to your guardian or carer as well. So everyone's on the same page. Some parents don't care less, but others do, because obviously during term we don't see our families regularly as young people come and go from the youth space because they're very independent beings, but it is nice for their families to know what's going on in the space. And I have tried to also, you'll notice the messages are longer because I'll try to save the information and then send it in one long text rather than 3 different text messages as well. So I'm coming up with different ways, but yeah, Facebook seems to be a thing of the past. We can close that page if you want us to close that page. It was more so that when the agenda went up, that we put up, the agenda's up, so people would go read it. But it seems to be that the only people on there are a few of the young parents, which I'm not sure why they're still on there. They're the only ones checking it. So yeah, that's up for discussion if you want to close that page.
Yeah, I guess the original purpose of it also was, it was a group, so it's not just a one-way communication where Debbie sends everyone a notice, but other people can say happy birthday, for example. So that's, because I think the social media ban is not, well, it doesn't need to be social media, because social media bans for stuff with an algorithm and all that sort of thing. It's not for text messaging groups or whatever. But yeah, it's just a matter of what works best, but there might be some more cohesion if there's I hung up on the birthday example, but just if there's multiple people wishing each other a happy birthday, it would be good.
Through the chat, I do message the individual as well. I just feel like I'm putting it up there so other members of the gap might see it and go, oh, happy birthday to that person.
Do you get a response when you do the single one? So it's a little less.
Otherwise, I can send it out to the whole group of the act saying happy birthday, but then you're all going to get happy birthday to Cody.
So Cody replies. It's good.
I would like to bring up the point that the reasons why those messages are now not in one big text is because we asked Debbie not to put them in a big text. I think the moving to different dates is a good idea. You could do a day before the program comes, like Sunday could be for the Monday programs or whatever. There was a problem during school holidays when you sent them all by new numbers. I don't know how you did that, because I got a bunch of new numbers at every single program saying, hi, congratulations, you booked in. I also have got emails from them too, so I got emails and new numbers. That was something. Also, the fact, I think the biggest point is Facebook died years ago, especially for this generation. I'm so sorry. But also the problem with Facebook is it's a whole page of scrolling. Not even want to respond in a comment or like it, because if I like the happy birthday post as Cody seems to be mentioning, it's just going to Debbie. It's not going to go, if it is Cody's birthday, it's not going to go to Cody. So I recommend this last time we talked about this as well, just a group chat, as Lily was messaging, text messages, just a group chat everyone's in. That way, if Debbie goes, it's like Cody's birthday. It's happy birthday, Cody. We can all individually respond there. It is a bit, I mean, if you wanted to, you had some personal number, you could also do that. Yes, Abby?
How do we feel about WhatsApp as a whole? Does everyone
Can I make a recommendation? Teams. Has anyone else used Teams before?
Yes.
Because I use it for work, and you can make separate groups. So if you're in the drum and if you're in a band, you have separate groups. So you can get an app on your phone, and it has a calendar as well, so you can see, you can plan for when things are going to be. But I'm old, so I still use Facebook, so don't come for me. But
Look, Jade, Facebook is still the biggest social media app on the planet, just not for the current youth. So, but yes.
It has a lot of faults. Yes, Abby, continue.
I'm not very educated on this. Is WhatsApp included in the social media ban, or am I losing my mind? Because I don't think it is, because it doesn't have an algorithm.
Yeah, it doesn't have a feed or
I believe WhatsApp is not.
If it's not, I feel like WhatsApp could be useful. I get what you mean, Jade, but also I feel like a 13-year-old might not have Teams.
I'm 24 and I don't have WhatsApp, so.
Oh, beautiful.
Sorry, through the chair, just with WhatsApp, just obviously going back 5 years ago, there was a big social leak off of there, so a lot of people are worried about that. But the main things we need to share is PDF documents, things like that, which can go out in emails, and group text message. So if you're happy with that, we can stick with basics, and we can, obviously WhatsApp is definitely come up in its leaps and bounds, and obviously is a lot safer than it used to be when it first came out. And it was obviously the biggest known way to share uni assignments and different things. So that's, you know, a different generation, I guess. Like Jade's generation, that's where everyone got caught cheating. So, yeah, so we just got to be careful.
Hey, not my generation.
So we just need to be a little bit careful of whatever we use. So emails and text is probably safer for now, if we're happy for that.
Could we potentially, like obviously we chat with the parents as well, like for both, mostly for the programs but also YAC, and see like maybe what platform out of like emails or WhatsApp or Teams or anything like the youth are using more? Because if, hey, for all we know they could be hop on Teams, they could be on there every 5 minutes, or they could be like very quick on their emails. So I think whatever is most accessible for them, because at the end of the day we all have access to everything but they don't.
Yeah.
We can definitely check with families what's better.
Yeah, because there's 100 different, we could have a Discord server or whatever, there's 100 different things that aren't on the social media.
Yes.
Really, it's really about whether you think you will use a chat type function, which to this point you haven't really that much, or if you're happy just with essentially SMS and email, which is communication coming out to you, so you're getting information, but there's really no group chat function. So if that's something that you do want, we can always look at a platform. But at the moment, if you're happy to just more receive information and have that one-way communication directly with Debbie, who'll be the one sending it out, that's fine for the time being.
Yes, Molly.
I don't know how to word it, but a lot of young people that I talk to don't really use emails. Like, it's like, I rarely check mine. I check mine like once every 2 months. And then, yeah, or my mum gets my email notification and I go, oh, you got a doctor's appointment, or you need to look at this. So like, for a young person, I feel like email is like this old people's thing that we don't really want to touch. So I think, yeah, I don't think that would be like something young people check very often.
Through the chair, we send them as a bulk thing to whoever the email subscriber is to the whole of the space, but that's a couple times a year. The text message is the quickest way for our families to know, and when you're a busy parent, it is great to just go, oh, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock pick up. They know, okay, term starts here, finishes here, done, and they only need that one text message, and then you don't text them again. You might text the parent 4 times a year. So I'm not bombarding them, it's just because you guys are also volunteers as well as everything else. But please check your emails, because someone does need a response to the volunteer thing. If you are a volunteer, please check your emails, because I'm sure that will be a question I'll get asked this week. And please follow up to see who's coming.
As the youngest person here, I do check my emails pretty frequently.
Yes.
Maybe I'm an outlier.
Can I just mention, I think for the activities in the new space, it's perfectly fine to stay as text messages from Debbie and emails to the times it needs to be. I do think this is mainly the outlier here is for this group here. We do not use our Facebook page, we can all agree on that. So I think we should put up to a vote if we would like a group chat between all of us. If we agree, we can then talk about apps and stuff. I would not recommend WhatsApps at all, just because of its shady backgrounding and just the general things of it. I do think teams from Jade here was a nice idea. I've recently been using Teams for sporting because it allows people under the age of 16 to be on it. It's a little annoying, but it is nice for just basic things. I do think the only time a group chat or anything could be useful in these programs would probably be drama to do with the decision of which reduction I'm doing and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's usually for the higher.
Through the chair, I'm just conscious that because we've got people under the age of 18, when you start group chats and you get lots of sub-group chats off of that, so we do have to be careful. So one SMS message, if someone's got a question they can ask, and basically that should be enough information. The young person should be able to communicate with their adult at home. So we do need to be very careful as well, because there's a lot of restrictions, but yeah, I do agree WhatsApp's probably seen as David being appropriate.
Yeah, I was just talking about the committee. I don't think you
No.
should set up a group chat for
No.
every youth program or whatever.
No, definitely, because they're under 18.
But yeah, just, I guess the point of it originally was, that was the functionality that the Facebook group had. So if we're losing it, is there a like-for-like replacement, just in terms of, team building or whatever it is?
And through the chair, I'm happy for it to just sit there for another month or two, and we come back maybe in the new financial year and we go, we haven't used it, let's close it, because there are other Facebook pages that have been there long before my time, like this page, that don't have that traction there anymore, and there's getting less and less members as people leave or age out of programs.
Before we go to email leave, if your thing of people being the underage teams is definitely a great thing, because unless you are the admin, you have absolutely no power on leaving a group chat, being in a group chat, absolutely.
I was just wondering, is Teams free? Because I know some platforms aren't.
Teams is free, but you do get ads. I have, going from one group chat to another, there's a pop-up ad, and you just wait 5 seconds and press next.
Thank you.
I do like the idea of maybe we leave it for the financial year, and then during that time we could have cheer, and whoever looks at what apps are correct to look at would be that way, and then that way when we come back in the new financial year, we can talk about this again, and we have some options to vote on. Is everyone okay with that? And now I'd like to go to 10 questions about notice. Does anyone have any? Yes, Lily.
I don't know if this is a question that's right to ask, but was she meant to speak during public open forum or anything, or is she just here to watch the meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Through the chair, for people that are watching at home, Jess from Ferris Care is attending our meeting tonight, so welcome.
Thank you. Any more questions about this? Jay, do you have any?
I'm just scrolling through the agenda. I know it's kind of that time of year where councils are putting in their accessibility action plans. I'm just wondering if any of the council members would have an update of what ours is looking like, and if we're looking for youth involvement to have, speakers and open forums regarding this.
It's Jill.
Jade through the chair. So we are well progressed with our disability access and inclusion plan. I think you may have missed the council meeting, but in February we had the consultants from Healthy Environments come to the Youth Advisory Committee meeting, specifically to gather their feedback for the disability access and inclusion plan. We also sent out the survey to everyone, and then we had some community engagement sessions as well in the weeks following that. So the first round of engagement has closed, and we've been drafting the disability access and inclusion plan, and we are looking to take that to the May council meeting, so council meeting at the end of this month, pass
That's a good, thank you. Yeah, I probably just missed that. February was very busy for me.
Yes. Alright, sorry about that. We're just having a chat with Bernie. So Bernie's term on the committee is coming to an end as well, and he's decided not to re-nominate as he's very busy with study and everything at the moment. So I think Emerson would like to pop forward a motion just to thank Bernie for his time.
Yes, we'll quickly move on to 11 motions about Bernie's. I would love for a motion to thank Bernie for his time on this committee. Even if you'll round of applause, just say thank you would be quite nice. Could I please have a mover? I'm the mover, sorry. I'm the mover. Have a seconder, please. Abby, thank you so much. All those in favour?
I'm in favour.
Carried unanimously. Thank you so much for your time. Would you like to say anything? You don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, maybe not. I'm not really prepared.
That's okay. That's completely good. Do we have any more motions without notice?
Not a motion, but before we end the meeting,
Questions?
yeah, just something that I guess didn't come up, but the budget, the $30,000 for the art is not currently in the budget, and well, the good news is that when the day that we had that council meeting, our now new member of parliament came up and said that they had an election promise for $30,000 for art in the town. So I think that's, yeah, we're still working through what exactly that will be. I think the mayor might have some.
Yeah.
Throw you in.
No, that's okay. So long story short, the appetite for, I think, large-scale mural projects is certainly there in council and in the community as well. James Agnes was able to secure an election promise of $30,000 and engage directly with PACE and also Daniel Down as well. Now, this is no offence to council, I think we do some great work in the space, but it's a really good outcome for this community group that is sole focused on delivering public art. It actually has the $30,000 given to them, and we're really keen to provide any in-kind support or whatever we need to do, but it is really their project and they'll be driving that. And in our experience, we have actually seen some of that. We might end up with multiple pieces that come through as well, because the contractors that might be quoting direct for organisations like PACE don't put the local government tax on as well. So we might be able to see that return on investment, and as such, the recommendation that came through and was ultimately supported by council was, look, we understand the appetite, but as there's money now being funded for some large scale art in the space, let's let that play out and see how that all goes, and discuss what the council is or isn't doing in future budget cycles, is where it will land in the end.
And so just for everyone, what is PACE and what do they do?
Planes, it used to be, can't remember what the acronym stands for, but PACE is not a 3-day event, it's like a week long. It is a 3-day event?
No,
A week is a week. And it's, there's all sorts of different art opportunities going on. I think you might have seen something where Alan Tiller's face was being sculpted by a sculptor in This year, if they can get it all happening, some of that large scale art might actually be getting delivered during PACE. There's all sorts of different, I guess, vices of art that is all brought in together, and the whole idea of PACE, and I hope I'm not discrediting Deb Good's great work and Daniel Down's good work, but it's all about making sure that they're pulling in the artists in from the regions, not just necessarily Gawler local, but actually getting in artists from around the place, which, like the skate park event, attracted people from down south. That's what PACE is all about as well, and getting people into the main street, walking, doing art tours, seeing what we've got on to offer, what is happening live, and the like. It was a very successful event last year, and hopefully it's only going to build on that, and we might see some of that large scale stuff happening as well.
So can I please confirm some stuff with you? No disrespect towards them, but this might sound rude.
No, go for it.
So to confirm, this program has been going on for 1 year so far, or multiple
It
years?
was, didn't have a different name.
Had a different name?
I think it was Arts
Arts
and Plains.
and
Arts on the Plains, and now it's the Plains Arts and Culture Events, that's what PACE stands for.
There you go.
And do we know how long this program has been going for?
So its current form, it was last year that it really sort of went to that level, and then this year is to build on it. It was a community group that started through Mr. Piccolo's office, I believe, about trying to support local artists and the like, and then it's sort of grown to what it is today.
So through the chair, if you remember, one of the local artists, Sky Lucas, put work in, had a whole expedition, and then this year we've got a lot more young artists going to be in the PACE Festival, along with other youth work. If you remember, you painted bricks and did all stuff with youth space. That was our festival. So we've been asked to be involved again, and obviously youth will be putting in more works, but there's about 6 young people put their hand up to have individual displays this year, which is great to see.
Also to confirm, they have signed the money from us, correct?
No, so just to be clear, this is separate from the council, but it was a factor in the council's decision, council's decision, it was to support the motion, so it went into the budget process. The budget recommendation the staff came back with didn't include it in the list, but it's not actually, we could also fund it and also have an art mural, but that's the current thought process. We are currently in a state of budget consultation, which is, so we've got another 3 weeks or something like that.
Consultation just went out, and if there is an appetite in the community to see some more, then certainly there is a process that ratepayers community members can actually engage and say, hey, we want to see more public art. The Chamber's appetite to spend ratepayer money on a similar outcome as what the election promised was not there at this time. Not to say that the appetite isn't there for street art and the like, and I think we've shown that in the past as well, and I think we can do a lot more in the space. It's just the money that's coming through state government actually meant we didn't have to put that impost on the ratepayers this budget cycle. So we will see an outcome of street art regardless, just different funding model, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense, but you're still basically saying we put in a motion for 30,000 for this mural / street art to be in Gawler. The motion was agreed, saying that's a great idea, but 30,000 isn't coming towards that. 30,000 has now come towards this other plans or whatever.
No, the 30,000
30,000 is not being spent. So
Not
basically,
Yeah.
council's thought process is basically, we were going to spend 30,000. State government say they're going to spend 30,000 on street art, so we don't have to pay for it, basically. But it does mean that it won't be this specific project that was put forward. It will be It could be multiple miscellaneous smaller projects. But that's basically the idea. It's not that council's $30,000 went somewhere else. Currently, council's trying to not spend $30,000. But that is a decision for the council. We can still do that. We can still fund it. It would just, you know, based on feedback or whatever else, we review the budget submissions and public and say, well, and the public say, well, we think you did too much of this, or we think you did not enough of this, and we can sort of adjust it. But that's how the process is at the moment.
Okay, well, on that, then can I add towards your opinion and towards what the plan was? Like, the plan would have been not just Gawler artists, of course there would have been that. There would have been some type of semi-ish prompt, because this mural is meant to be something from the youth's mind. There would of course be limitations of what can be there, because of course it's a council building, it's also being done by the council, so of course we can have profanity and certain things, of course. But it'd be some type of, like, you'd put it up for a competition slash, you know, you'd say to these artists, you bring it out into the social media to submit drawings or of everything, and then we would go to a vote and we would decide on what to do it. And then even if we were able to get the artists out there to show it, and then we'd get certain artists who were more, you know, adept with street art to paint it. Yes, Abby?
Sorry, through the chair. I suppose the question to the elected members is, how can the YAC get involved in this if it's not actively our idea? Is there a way that the YAC can support the Pace Festival and the, like, funding, I suppose, without using the ratepayers' money towards that? Obviously, because the choice was to use their funding instead.
Yes, potentially. I completely understand the sentiment here. So what we can probably do is we can probably organise maybe a meeting with Pace. I know they haven't started their expression of interest or anything along those lines yet. And then maybe we can float the idea or combine the minds with the appetite. The Pace is not a council organisation, so what they choose to do will be entirely up to them. But I do know the personalities around the table, certainly pro-community outcomes, etc., etc. So maybe there's a way to lean on that a little bit. And as for the not getting up in regards to the project not being above the line, meaning it won't be at this point in time it's not recommended to be funded next financial year. Please don't let that dishearten the message that we were sending and it was sent up through YAC, because it did actually empower the conversation that flowed through and also strengthened a lot of the great work that happened prior to the Youth Advisory putting up motions about what large-scale art does, whatever the topic is, once it's all said and done. And there are projects that are put up to council year after year. I've got a lot of projects that I've put up that haven't been successful as well. But the recommendation would always keep on chipping at it, because the budget cycle flows around every single year. And at this point in time, the justification was as explained. There might be a completely different line of discussion that happens next year, but that consistent lobbying, let's call it, is actually quite effective in a lot of outcomes that council undertake. If it makes sense, we have to be able to justify the return on investment as well, which I think we all in this room do agree that great art does have great return on investment more generally.
Yeah, and just to add to that, yeah, there is, I think, if we want to push more art as a youth committee in town, I think it is worth continuing to do this stuff, because, yeah, things have gotten through before, and it's always a bit of a battle with the budget, because I know what a lot of the feedback we'll get is about the budget, because we get it every year. It's that we're being charged too much rates, why are you spending money on art when my footpath's got a hole in it, all that sort of thing. And so, but it's also the art and culture is very important to a lot of people. And so I made a video, Emerson was in it, about it, and asked, what do you think about spending money on art and murals in the town? And I did notice a difference between, for example, the Facebook comment section and the Instagram comment section had a huge, Instagram, I think I ran a little story poll and it was like 95% yes, whereas Facebook was more 50-50, yes, this is good, and no, council needs to prioritise, the fact that there's bumpy roads, or that there's no street lights on my street, or that sort of thing. And that's just a constant debate that happens every year and will to the end of time. Because that's what a budget is it's fighting over the priorities for how to spend the money. And so if you think there's things that are priority, public transport, etc., the goal of the youth committee can be, let's keep forcing the council to talk about this, because every motion you make goes to the council for a decision, and they have to make a decision one way or the other. And so even if they say, no, we don't want the art, then you force them to say, no, we don't want the art, and then you can respond. So I guess that's, some more context.
But I'm happy to keep pushing for this motion. For the last couple of years I am a part of this committee. I can't tell by you guys, because you are wording it very strangely and not being blunt here. I can't tell if there is a chance that this might come through, because you're saying there is a period of budgeting being discussed currently. Even if it hasn't, I'm still going to keep pushing. I do have some more questions, but we'll go to Abby first. So Abby?
I think the main thing for us here, also to please prove me if I'm wrong, I think to answer your question is, if there's another body willing to fund a similar project, the same outcome, it's for, I suppose, council's better interest to let those guys work on it instead of using council's funding, like the ratepayers' money towards art, if there's another body willing to fund that in our area. And also, even if our motion doesn't get approved, I suppose we don't really have so much direct contact with the elected members. So even just them knowing what our motions and what's important to us as a committee are is probably really helpful for you guys, knowing that we are passionate about the arts or passionate about community would probably do a lot for your understanding of what the Youth Advisory Committee would like to push for as well.
Yeah, and so just to answer Emerson's question, yes, it can be changed. The budget consultation process is you can write a budget submission that says we should have the street art mural, or you can show up to a council meeting, and this is what happened when we had the year of youth traineeship. Was YAC members presented at a budget meeting saying this is a priority for us, and those are things that you can do. It is part. You're not the only ones who have a say, but you may have quite a big sway, because most people just don't put in the effort. On average, I think we get maybe 5 to 10 responses to our budget every year, and then about 5 to 10,000 comments on Facebook 5 months later when they don't like the result of the budget.
Yeah, look, I'm happy to put it pretty bluntly. The way that the chamber and the staff recommendation at this point in time, the council staff organisation and the chamber do not support spending ratepayer money on a project that's of equal value that is funded by the state government. That's the reality of what's going on. That's not to say that the public consultation isn't open for this very reason, because people have the right to disagree with the council as an organisation and each member of council, and your submission could go up. But to be completely honest, something would have to really change to sway the vote, because when I was chairing that meeting, it was more broadly, noting that it's not Yak's project, but the $30,000 for large-scale street art and street art outcomes was an election promise that there was an opportunity, unique situation. That said, I still believe there's an appetite within the chamber more broadly, as we've shown in the past. But we also do have those books that you need to balance. So you go, can we afford this? Can we not afford it? And that's the question that was asked. And then the election promise sort of took away the reason why the recommendation went from above to below.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah. So I hope that makes it clear. It is, you do have, the reason it's not currently in the budget is because it doesn't currently have the support to be in the budget. But the point of public consultation is that people can have their say, because this is the state. We've had our say in the council putting out a draft submission to the public, and now it's the public's turn to have their say. And things do change. Things, you know, just get, there's a, you know, heritage, for example, is an area where consistently, when a large group of people show an interest in saying, actually, we think this wall or whatever is really valuable, it can help the council members go, this is what, because the council members are trying to represent the views of the public. Currently, their view is that the view of the public is council should spend as little as possible in unnecessary areas so that they pay less rates. But, you know, but that's what the public consultation period is for. So I hope that sort of gives a general overview.
And just through the chair, I think it's important to note that we put up staff and elected members, we put up budget submissions every single year, and a lot of them get knocked back. That doesn't mean it's no forever. We work on them if we still think it's really important. We refine them, we get more detail, and we try again the next budget cycle. So just because it's no this time doesn't mean it's no forever. And it comes around really quickly as well. November will be here before we know it, and we'll be looking for more budget submissions. So if it's no this year, that's fine. There's going to be a mural in the town. It just gives us time to better work on and refine another proposal and try again. So that's something we can also focus on. So yeah, just because it's no now doesn't, or you know, and you could put in a budget feedback submission. We can show you how to do that. That's very possible for us to do with you. But yeah, it's not no forever. It's just perhaps not this time. We'll try again before you know it. November will be here and we'll be working on budget submissions, so we can do another motion with another proposal and try again. And perhaps seeing a great mural in the town will inspire people to say, actually, we'd really love another one. We've seen how successful this one is. Let's do another one and let's fund it and have a youth focus. So yeah, just remember, there's always another go round.
I completely understand all the points you guys have been making with the money that's not a no. It's just that it's a no this time, but it's well, half an ambition. Yeah. But do anyone, as you mentioned, the state, or as he's wanting to do street art as well, do we know where those possible options are? Would that include Gawler? Are we going to lose that building that we didn't want to put an art piece on? Like, do we know any of that? Yes.
I can probably answer this and might have some more depth. In short, no, we don't understand exactly where they're looking at more broadly. Anecdotally, they're looking at, you know, the wall of subway at Walker's Place, for example. A couple of other options weighing up, but I think at this point in time, they're currently speaking within their group about, because they need to narrow the list down of potential options so they can get their expression of interest out and actually net an artist and start seeing some of those designs come back for whatever selection panel that they establish. But it will be Gawler focused in the locality of Gawler area for sure. But yeah, where, and I think it's going to be a matter of what partnerships they could do, because some of the walls they are looking at are actually privately owned walls, not necessarily council-owned walls as well. That's not to say that they're probably having conversations with us on some of the buildings we own and seeing where they sit. But yeah, no, nothing has been locked in
there's been several state election promises for the town of Gawler that we're working through. I'm also on the governing council for Gawler and District College, and they just got promised a $30 million technical college, and they're still working through the details for that as well. So it's a new government. The election was in March, so they've been in for a month, and Parliament hasn't actually met yet. So there's a few things like that that we're working through. But yeah, I think one of the things that could be an opportunity is the private walls, because this is a debate/argument we had in the council over the funding of the walls, because we funded a few different art mural projects, and then we started talking about, well, it'd be great to have the subways and the Zambros and all these, and then the argument was, well, they're private property, why is council doing up private landlords' buildings? We'll do our own, and then we encourage them to do theirs. And so in that way, this might actually be very good, because council is sort of stuck to its council buildings, but if it's general state government funding that different groups can tap into, we might be able to see a wider variety of street art on more places as well.
And through the chair, on the PACE Festival, Deb Good is very open to speak to any young people that want to be involved in the art process. So it might be an opportunity for one of the youth advisory committee members to meet with Deb and have an input, because they are constantly asking young people from our community to be part of the festival. They're very open to listen, and obviously supporting a lot of young artists emerging. So it is really great. So if someone does, please let me know. And Deb's always asking for ideas of entries into the festival, and reaching out to other young people and saying. So introductions are always there for that process.
I do have one final statement on this. I don't know if anyone else will see this. Keep in mind, the point of this mural was because you guys have been saying, why is Gawler dead? Why are we not getting people here? The point of the mural was to get people into Gawler. I'm happy for you guys to say no this year because the state is doing it, and I'm happy for you guys to take the chance if the state wants to put something here. But I just want you guys to keep that in mind. I'm also completely happy to try to get it into this budget and try with you. But I'm also happy to move on now. If everyone else has got anything else to say? No?
Oh, sorry, just one last thing. Through the chair, we have a council and arts and culture strategy, which is sort of coming to its expiration date. So in the next sort of 6 to 9 months, we'll be reviewing that as well, and that'll be a really good chance to have feedback about what you want the state of art in Gawler and culture in Gawler to look like. And we'll be sure to include the YAC heavily in the consultation for that. So that's another, when we update a strategy, it's always nice to have a project to go with it. So there's a potential there could be tie-in there as well and something. So there's always another opportunity.
Okay, thank you guys. Sorry that took so long. Is there any more motions without notice? No? I would like to now move to close of this meeting. Closes at 7:51 p.m. on May the 4th, 2026. Our next meeting, I believe this is correct, it will be Monday, the 1st of June, 2026, commencing of course at 6:30. Thank you all for coming. I'm sorry for this mess.
Hi guys.
Oh, that's right.
Like that. The voice of it.
Awesome.
She's 24 and still old.
Yes. Yeah.
No, she's